At this time, I ask that you please stand if you're able for the presentation of colors by the Reading Police Department Color Guard and our Pledge of Allegiance. Following that, please remain standing as the UPrep High School choir performs the national anthem. Please join me in the pledge. Please remain standing as I introduce Elizabeth Wanning from Bethel Church, who will be honoring us today in today's invocation.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I pray in the name of Jesus Christ, first thanking you for our city, for our recent growth and revitalization. And so I ask that you would bless our city, so that your amazing love would pervade all of Reading, so that we would live together in honor and respect from the least to the greatest. And I ask that you would release wisdom to our city leaders for strategies that care for our minorities with safety, justice, and strategies to care for those without homes and health, education and security, strategies to cultivate prosperity and thriving in our city. And I pray that you would continue to bless innovation in Reading, that we would attract and inspire new technologies and businesses with opportunities to learn and grow. Thank you for this community that values family, children, grandparents. Lord, I ask that you guide the lives of our leaders, those who protect and bring justice, those who organize and administrate, those who direct and counsel. Bless our mayor and city government. Bless the business owners, the businesses that our city would grow and prosper. And so grant us resilience, Lord, and resolve to navigate the future as a community in this together, so that a spirit of care and concern from our neighbors prevails that pleases you. And finally, Lord, be present among us today as we model reconciliation, unity, and respect for one another and diversity, for the sake of our state and nation. In Jesus' name, amen.
You may be seated. Thank you, Newport High School Choir, for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for giving us today's invocation as we thank you all for coming. I would like to introduce dignitaries today. So please hold your applause until the end. Reading Rancheria Tribal Government, Jason Howard Jr., Leon Benning, Patty Spalding, Rhonda Edwards Favorite, Tony Howard Sr., Don Benner, representing Congressman Doug LaMalfa, Brenda Hayes, representing Senator Brian Dalias, and Assemblywoman Megan Daly, Bruce Ross. Reading City Council, Mayor Tenessa Audette, Vice Mayor Julie Winter, Mayor Pro Tem Jack Munns, City Councilman Joshua Johnson, Councilman Mark Bazzano, Shasta Lake City Council, Mayor Janice Powell, Vice Mayor Tina Eisenbayes, City Councilwoman Pam Morgan, City Councilman Greg Watkins, Shasta County Assessor Recorder Leslie Morgan, Shasta County Board of Trustees, City Council past mayors, Shasta County District Attorney Stephanie Bridget, the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, Michelle Nystrom, Sierra Pacific Industries, Rob Lowe's, Dignity Health North State, Imagine Hutchins, Fall River Brewing, Christy Davis, Golden Valley Bank, Angela Cordell, Shasta College, Michelle Goddard, Commercial Broker, Lindsay Meyer, Turtle Bay, Tracy Edwards, Reading Rancheria, Zach Bay, State Farm, Julie Dyer, Advanced Reading, Ryan Hadrick, Capital Rivers Commercial Hadrick Group, Kevin Corey, Mikhail Sign, Dave Silva, Professional Exterminators, Wendy Zanatelli from the Smart Workforce Center. Well, thank you all for being here today. And at this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage Todd Jones, President and CEO of the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce.
It's a pretty amazing place we live here in Reading. I'm Todd Jones. I'm the president and CEO of the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce, and it is an honor to be here today after 5 years. We have not been here for State of the City since 2019, and this is our 37th annual. So it is a privilege to be here and be with all of you and see our community back together again for something like this. I just couldn't be prouder of our community, and watching a video like that Visit Reading put together, I just couldn't be more grateful to live in the Reading community. So the Reading Chamber of Commerce, we are an association of businesses organized to improve the business climate and contribute to the economic health of its membership in the greater Reading area. We were founded in 1908. We have been around for 116 years, and the first thing that we did in 1908 was we actually were organized to oppose a freight increase in California, a big issue of the time, freight coming up to the North State, and we have continued to advocate for businesses ever since. We're not just my staff, my board, our ambassadors who helped greet you as you came in today. We're over 800 businesses in the Reading area, all the way from the mom and pop shops like the Sandwichery, all the way up to our largest private employer, Sierra Pacific Industries. So I'm proud to have all those folks as members of the Reading Chamber of Commerce. We're also a foundation. We're the Forward Reading Foundation. In 2019, my predecessor, Jake Mangus, raised more than $500,000 to bring you the Reading City Identity Project, an amazing feat that helped fund and start many efforts in the North State, including Garden of Lights, helping seed that and pay for the design, helping start the first Reading Venture Conference, which we're going to have back in the spring, thanks to the EDC, Startup Reading and Reading, or Chassis EDC Venture Conference. Garden of Lights, I already mentioned, Electric Alley, and a growing list of downtown murals. In addition, as you could see before me, we are also Visit Reading. In 2021, the Reading Chamber of Commerce became the official Convention and Visitors Bureau for the city of Reading. We are the base camp for adventure. This picture here represents a campaign that we ran called Base Camp, which we were nominated for a Poppy Award this year against Los Angeles and San Diego. So with a relatively modest budget, we continue to outpunch our weight class, and we're showing the world what a great place we are to visit and a great place we are to live. And I could not be prouder of Danny Orloff and Jennifer Zimmer and the growing list of local creatives that put together Visit Reading. Also, since we took over in 2021, we have had the 3 highest years of transient occupancy tax ever for the city of Reading. So that means more people are staying in our hotels and more people are staying in our short-term rentals. So that is an amazing feat. And we're not just tracking TOT, we're also tracking visitor spend. We know where people come from and where they spend our money so we can measure the true economic impact of tourism in Shasta County, one of our biggest industries by employment in our area. And it's something that I think drives a lot of the activity that we do here in the North State. Finally, we're also seeing retail growth. In a time of a lot of economic uncertainty, it is so exciting to see new businesses come to the North State. You can see Reading Public Marketplace, which is going to be opening up next year, brought to us by K2 Development, and an amazing list of local restaurants and bars and breweries. Fall River and a few other folks are going to be there. We also see Grange Co-op coming to the old Shopco on Lake Boulevard and breathing life into an old building that has sat empty for years. We also have the old Costco already spoken for, and the new Costco, of course. We have lots of stuff going on. So when I look around the country, and I see this economic uncertainty, and then I look locally at what's happening right here in Reading, I see the economic activity continue to happen. People are investing in our community, and we're really continuing to be the hub for the North State. Also, we have D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton is moving forward on more than 500 homes in the Reading area, and that's a really exciting thing to see, that homes are still getting built, people are still buying these homes, and people are moving to the North State. Twice a year, we team up with Golden Valley Bank and we bring you the Economic Confidence Survey. As you can see here, the numbers are slightly down from this spring because I know all of you in the room, many of you are business owners, there's a lot of uncertainty. Regardless of what happens in November, people are kind of holding their breath and thinking about what's going to happen in our community. But I know we have a really resilient community and we're going to make it through no matter what. But the business owners, and if you see this was emailed out this morning with more details, business owners are still optimistic about continuing to hire, continuing to have strong profits and sales in the next year. The big topic, of course, is workforce. And I know I don't have to say this much. Many people in this room know about this pain point in our community. but our unemployment's about 5.7%. But the biggest number to me that stands out is our workforce participation rate. Our workforce participation rate in Shasta County, the Reading MSA, Reading Metropolitan Statistical Area, is 50.9%. So out of the available workers in our community, 50.9% of people are in our workforce. We rank 48th out of 58 counties in the entire state of California for workforce participation rate, and this is a number that I want to continue to focus on, and we are focusing on collectively as a community. And there's two really great organizations, there's many, but the two I'm going to highlight are the Smart Workforce Center, who's helping address this challenge. They're well-funded, they have great programs, and Shasta College. Shasta College has a lot of great programs, my favorite one being the California Registered Apprenticeship for Forest Training, otherwise known as CRAFT. Community colleges love acronyms like government does. And they're really focusing on one of what I think is one of our most pressing needs in the North State, and that is addressing active forest management. So they're getting people out in the woods, operating equipment, and getting back to managing our forest. The other one is ASSET, which is the Accounting Services Employment Training called ASSET, and they're putting people into businesses to learn about how to manage a business, how to look at the books, and how to pay attention to the bottom line. So I'm excited to see these programs that are really facing the challenges head on and facing challenges that are affecting our community, because what we know in the North State is one size does not fit all. So we're trying to figure out those issues collectively. Quality of life. You could see the video. I mean, if you see that video and you're not proud of where we live, I don't know what to tell you, because we live in one of the most amazing places in the country. And I think this is an area that we need to double down on. We need to use what we're doing with Visit Reading to create this compelling content, and we want all of you to leverage that, because talent attraction is a big deal. We have about 12,000 fewer people in our workforce than we did in 2008, so we need to continue to bring more people here. We have the training. We just need more people in the North State so we can increase employment and increase productivity for our businesses. So this is an area that we need to continue to double down on. Quality of life is not just about kayaking and fishing and mountain biking. It's also about crime and homelessness, things that Reading Police Department are facing head on. I was excited this year to be part of the inaugural RPD Citizens Academy, and I want to thank Chief Barner and Lieutenant Tim Renault, who I was in Leadership Reading, best class ever 2018 with, as well as our mayor, and bringing this program together. I applaud the transparency that the police department is having and showing citizens about what's happening in the community. I mean, I was in awe every single night about all that RPD does in our community, and they're not just sitting back idly. I know we have problems. We're seeing people on our storefronts. We still see crime, but RPD in our city is addressing these issues head on, and they're going to make improvements in quality of life, and we can already see that right now. One of my, yeah, you can apply for that. That's good. Yeah, quality of life. We love it. A great story is just this summer, a business opened up bargain bins down on the south end of Hilltop, and that business owner I've known for a long time, he called me up. You could woohoo for bargain bins. It's a great deal. He called me up and said, hey, we're coming to Reading. We haven't been here for a while. They owned another business here, and there's a homeless camp right next to our business down there on the south end of Hilltop. So I actually didn't pick up the phone and call the chief directly, which I suppose I could have done. I went to the RPD's website where you can report an illegal camp, and the next day, the police department was there. Within a few days, they cleared the entire camp, and the business owner was like, wow, what did you do? That was amazing. I said, I really didn't do anything. I just followed the normal protocol, put it in there, and you see this work happening all over our community. They're cleaning it up and making it difficult for people to make bad decisions, and they're providing resources. They don't want to just put these people in jail. These people need help, and we have organizations in town that are willing to do that, and I've seen firsthand RPD are helping those people come to resources like the Good News Rescue Mission to get the services they need to break the cycle of poverty. So this year, it's an election season. I think you probably all know that. Next week, next Wednesday, October 2nd, we are excited to bring you the Reading City Council Candidate Forum on Wednesday, October 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Cascade Theater. I'm co-hosting this with my buddy Blake Fisher from Viva Downtown. And we want to ask you the questions that are important to you. Economic downturn, crime, the riverfront, all these things are going to be coming up, and we want to make sure that you're making the most educated, well-informed decision you can on Tuesday, November 5th when you vote for our city council. We're also trying to spread the message. We're trying to tell our story, because if we're not telling our story like what Visit Reading does, nobody knows. You have to tell your story about what's happening. So we just launched City Builders. This is me with my good friend, Dr. Jesse Curran, co-owner of Prestige Urgent Care. We launched our first podcast, and in a few weeks we'll have another podcast launch with Chief Brian Barner, and we're going to talk about the issues that are facing our community. Our goal is to launch this once a month, brought to you by Obsidian IT. We're very grateful for their support, and it's about the people and businesses that make our community. That's really what this podcast is all about, and that's who builds a city, is the people like all of you in this room. And finally, we want you to become a member. We have 800 businesses. Many of you are part of the chamber. We're not just another networking group. We are committed to try to move this community forward. I was speaking with my staff yesterday, Haley, and she brought up a quote she's heard Shannon Phillips say a few times, which is, go forward 50 years and look back. This is what we're planning for. This is what the chamber is here for. We're trying to move our community forward. And when we look back 50 years from now, we want to be proud of the work that we've done. And that is why the chamber exists. We want to help convene this community to make our community a better place to live, because my goal is to make the city of Reading the best place to do business and live in the entire state of California. And we hope you'll join us. So it is now time for our keynote, and I'm excited to introduce our mayor, Tenessa Audette. I've known Tenessa for many years. She is a mother of 3, married to Jeff Audette. She was also in Leadership Reading class of 2018 with me. She's served for the California State Legislature for the past 5 years. She graduated from Sonoma State and a political science degree, which I also have a political science degree. Sometimes they call it a BS degree. But I've known Tenessa for a long time, and I really admire the hard work that she puts in every day. Day and night, and so please help me welcome our mayor, Tenessa Audette.
Welcome, Reading, to your State of the City. I'm Tenessa Audette, your mayor. When I think about Reading and dream of her future, I know the best outcomes will come when we stand together. It's been 5 years since we all gathered together to cast vision for our community. We have been through flood, fire, snow, pandemics, and let's not even go there with politics. It's time we come together to look at who we are, what we have, and where we can go. The state of our city is united. United in its goals of economic growth. United in its purpose to create a culture of health and excellence in care. United in its passion to live and play in the outdoor wonderland that is right at our doorstep. United to see Reading be a hub of innovation and great expectations. I sat down with some of our best and brightest that are championing big ideas that create a big impact in Reading. These are just 7 pillars of many within our community to talk about the future of Reading and the projects they are working on. The future of Reading is bright, and it's the people of Reading that make her shine. Thank you for being here. So thank you guys for being here. So my question to you is, what do you feel like is your vision for the region, for SPI, and how it affects Reading and the larger region as a whole?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting us here. I'm very proud that Sierra Pacific was selected to participate in this. My vision for the region would be greater economic growth. I think we do that through sustainable, better paying jobs. And that's what I'm proud of at Sierra Pacific. We have over 2,200 crew members in the area here. And those are living wage jobs where they can support a family, buy a home, and participate in the community.
Being in a family-owned company like Sierra Pacific, they've long strived to reinvest not just in their facilities, but their people, and most importantly, the communities we live in. And so we've had several projects over the last 5 years in and around the Reading area that I think have benefited the economic growth for the area, starting with a rebuild of our small log mill up in Bernie. We've also invested in our Anderson facilities, both in rebuilding the small log mill there, along with an additional planer line. And then lastly is the completion of a 25 million seedling nursery northwest of Weed. So all told, I think the company will have invested nearly $180 million in the last 5 years in the local area.
What do you want the public to know about Sierra Pacific? What do you feel like best describes not just your vision, but your goals and what you're pursuing?
Well, I think first that we're more than sustainable. Everyone wants to talk about sustainability today, but we're on the other side of that in that we grow significantly more fiber than we harvest. We're planting upwards of 10 million trees a year. I think there's a great opportunity for this community. We have the natural beauty with the mountains, the rivers, and the lakes around here. It gets a little bit warm sometimes, but you get to learn to deal with that. But I really think this area is going to prosper in the upcoming years.
I love the quote, "You can judge the heart of a city by how well it cares for people." And my vision is we as a community, we are able to model for the rest of California how we care for people really well. Over the past decade alone, the Good News Rescue Mission has sheltered 13,000 individual people right here in our community. And these are local people. These aren't people who came from some other area. This is our own mothers and fathers and sons and daughters right here in our community. That's this population. For the population of people who don't stay with us, they're camping, we provide generally around 5,000 to 7,000 showers each year. For the population who's staying with us, it's generally going to be around 30,000, sometimes 40,000 showers for that population. Meals, we will hit over 170,000 meals in a year, and total nights of shelter will be 80,000 nights of shelter throughout the year. We're working with the city of Redding now. We just did a $3 million loan with the city of Redding. It wasn't a grant. This is a loan that has performance measures built into it. And so we are building a large community day center right now that people will be able to take refuge into this community day center, be introduced to resources. They don't have to seek shelter or shade under a bus stop in the community, right? We just spent 2 years rewriting all of our policy and procedures, reducing what are perceived barriers from the camping population. One of those big changes we realized is 90+% of this population is highly addicted to drugs. Most places you go for services will not allow you to bring drugs on. So they either store their drugs somewhere in hopes that it doesn't get stolen, or they just don't take part of resources. So something that we did this year is say, we're gonna create an amnesty section. We want you to be here. You cannot utilize drugs on the property, but if you bring them, we will lock them away. You can take part of resources, you can take part of services, and then when you leave, you can take it back with you. So many people are now leaving the encampments, coming to us, putting their drugs in this amnesty section, and then saying, "Hey, I don't want to go back to the streets." You can just throw that stuff away. This is innovative change. This is a paradigm shift. I know it's controversial, but we're seeing outcomes, and I'm so excited.
Our goal is to be Redding's hometown university, and that means we want to continue with a Christ-centeredness, deliver the very best of higher education that we can to the needs of the North State, to drive commerce, to improve the ACE scores, to reduce veteran suicidality, and to cause Redding to be a destination place for all peoples. We're trying to drive degree programs and athletics that appeal to the North State. So as you probably already know, we've launched digital media, computer information systems, engineering, sports management, kinesiology, social welfare, and we're just about to grow our nursing program again. And all of those are aimed at augmenting the economic base in the North State. You know, we get about 80% of our students from the North State region. I couldn't tell you the exact numbers or percentages, but what I can tell you is I've been very pleased to work with the leadership at Shasta College in strong partnership so that students can leave there and know that they can finish in 2 years at Simpson. So the articulations are in place and actually growing in strength and partnerships. So We get a lot of students from local high schools. We get a lot of students from Shasta, and of course some of the other community colleges in the North State. What I'm most thrilled about is our Business, Technology, and Engineering building, which we've been fundraising for 5 years. So it's exceptionally pleasing to be building that building right now and knowing that we'll have digital media, engineering, computer information systems all ensconced in a space that will maximize the students' learning experience with cutting-edge technology. Simpson University is Reading, and we thank you for the opportunity to serve. It's a real pleasure.
The McConnell Foundation's vision for Reading is our mission to help build better communities through philanthropy. And externally with the community, we try to tie all of our work directly to our mission. The beautiful thing about the McConnell Foundation is we're a general purpose funder. Our mission is very broad, which means our vision is broad. And we're often involved in many things at the same time. But some of the things that are our key priorities for us at this point in time, we have a strong commitment to children, youth, and education. We're primary funders for North State Together, college and career options, and several other emerging initiatives with our local education community. We also have a scholarship program that's very successful where we help students graduating from high school proceed with their life and fulfill their dreams and opportunities for a post-secondary education or training. We're very involved in community vitality, especially the revitalization of downtown Reading. And we support Nature Bridge, a program that sends sophomores and juniors to Yosemite National Park every year to give kids exposure to the natural environment and something that's greater and bigger than we are. We're partners with the Community Foundation of the North State to administer the McConnell Fund, which is far-reaching for projects of all kinds of ranges. And we also do a lot in healthcare, social services, and most recently, we've become involved in affordable housing and housing for homelessness or folks at risk of being homeless. The economic impact of the work we do, we know is great. We've always taken a position, the foundation board and staff, that our emphasis is to try to grow local. So we put a lot of emphasis in creating a better community. The future of Reading is very bright. We see that we are surrounded by assets. One of the things that Reading has going for it, from my perspective and the foundation's perspective, is that we don't have a lot that needs to be undone. We have so much more that can be done, and that's a much better place to be.
Okay, so what do you feel is the tribe's vision for Reading?
Well, the Reading Rancheria is a sovereign nation. We are very proud of our history, our culture, and our elders. So the vision of the Reading Rancheria is a lot about honoring our elders, a lot about honoring our tribal members. It's about building strong families, building strong individuals, strong, resilient, independent individuals. And also, our vision includes setting an example and being stewards of the land and developing our land in ways that benefit the entire community. So one of the things that we do, a couple of things that we do, are our Stillwater Powwow has become a major event. It's now on the powwow circuit. So when you search things, people will be coming to Reading just to dance in the Stillwater Powwow. So I think that's one way that we can share our culture, and we invite everybody to come join us at the powwow. We honor our elders and we build strong families by our health clinics. Lots of people don't realize that we have 3 health clinics. We serve Native Americans, obviously. We serve our 900 employees. We serve all of their families, and we serve a huge underserved population in our Medi-Cal patients. We serve about 2,000 or 20,000 patients in the area. So one of the things in our vision is to build a health village, and what that means is we're going to be able to serve even more people. We will move a portion of our population into a big health village that we're building, and then we'll be able to serve more Medi-Cal patients at our Liberty location. So that's something that that we are looking forward to. And then we are so excited. We most recently were able to put the land into trust on I-5 that we've been working on literally for 20 years. When I say 20 years, I checked, we bought the land in 2004. So we will be able to be good stewards of the land. We will be able to develop the property in a way that's not just best for the tribe, but best for the entire community. We're going to provide jobs, and we're going to provide construction jobs. We're going to be able to have entertainment. We'll be able to give more back to the community. So the Reading Rancheria, our vision is to make the community a better place for everybody.
We'll start with, what is your vision for Bethel and Reading?
It's to love God well and to love people well. You know, we love our city. So we just want to see, we want to see a city thrive, you know, healthy families, prosperous businesses, safe streets, you know, it's all the practical stuff, but that's really what we've been called to be a part of. We get to join with so many others in our community and try to ensure that happens.
I think there's a lot of people in our city think we're trying to like a city takeover or something. It's like nothing can be further from the truth. What our goal is to see what it looks like for our city to be loved well. As you know, we have a school that has thousands of students in it, and we want every single student to go back to their city after they've graduated and take on as part of their heart that my relationship with God has to positively affect my city, my family, and the people around me. And so every single student is a part of a city project, whether they're mentoring people, you know, maybe they're visiting the jail or the prison, or they're working in the parks, cleaning the parks and doing whatever city projects needs to do. Those are recommended by the city manager and by his team. So we go in every year and we sit with them and we're like, what is it? Where are the needs? And it's like, we call this the three-legged stool. It's like the government officials, you know, and business, and then nonprofits. We all work together. So we need a strategic plan that everyone's working together on. So we don't come and say, this is what we're doing. We come and say, what do you need? Because these are the resources we have. How can we, is there a way to help with these resources? And that's whether it's the city manager, it's the police chief, whether it's the city council, we've come as servants. And we're always asking, like, how can we help? So we want to educate our students. And people ask the question, like, why do you have so many civil leaders? Like, you are one of them. Like, why is there so many people that run for office at Bethel? They're trying to take over the city. It's like, no, we just tell our congregation, which is 10,000 of them, in a small city, what are you doing to love your city well? If you're called to government, go serve that way, whatever. But find some way to display the love of God in ways that people can actually touch. That's all we've ever tried to do.
Yep.
That's a amen from Bill.
Tenessa, thanks for having us here. It's really exciting. Dignity is committed to this community, and we'll talk about some of the exciting projects in a minute, but we've been here. Mercy Reading's been serving this community for over 80 years. We want to continue to be a trusted partner and expand the great services that we have here.
And I would say, representing Mercy Foundation North, the philanthropic side of Dignity Health locally, for us, it's really, being able to connect our donors with aspects of our ministry that really speak to them. And we help to really facilitate their dreams. And having the opportunity to do that is such a gift. And we're really blessed to be able to see that on a daily basis.
So we have two great projects that we've been working on with the city. One's been over 12 years, and it's trying to bring all our cancer services into one site as much as possible for Regional Cancer Center. We chose a site on the water so that it would have a healing environment. People are there in tough times, both they and their family, being able to have that. And also just a general location from both north, south, east, and west, easy access from the freeway, and lots of parking. sometimes somebody wants to go and see a Stanford doc or UCSF. In many cases, we can follow that treatment plan. So they don't have to drive down all the time. It can be under that doctor, and we can follow a lot of that treatment plan right here in the Regional Cancer Center, collaborating with them. So that's another benefit. And it's an investment of over $70 million. So when you ask what's Dignity's vision, they're putting a lot of money into this area, along with great support from our community. So the other project that was awesome this year, we doubled the size of our food bank. And you may not know, but Dignity Health Connected Living is the food bank for all of Shasta County, and it's available to anybody in need. They serve between 5,000 to 7,000 people a month, and over 14 million pounds of food last year were distributed. So that's a lot of food. Gives us twice the size and social determinants of health. So we're not just health care when you're sick, it's trying to care for people on the front end and living a healthier lifestyle. And food is one of that, with food insecurity.
I would say that Roger and I each serve on the board of Dignity Health Connected Living, so we get to kind of hear before the community does about the latest and greatest projects. You realize quickly that you're serving meals, you're handing out food, but really it is hope and it's connection as much as anything.
We want to see Reading be a hub for the entire North State and continue to be a place where people can come and get the specialty care that they need. And that's what I love about Reading too, is different businesses, different organizations are so generous for all kinds of different needs. That's a place I want to be part of.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I am a part of Leadership Reading. And yes, there's the table back there, 2018, best class ever. We often say, I ran the government class, and we often say that Leadership Reading is like dating your city. You really get to learn all about it. And if that is like dating, I would say being on the city council is marriage. And so you have to listen to it because we're married. Okay, so good afternoon. Thank you for coming to State of the City. Our theme and our goal is that we would be a united Reading. I'm so happy to see everybody back at the Civic. It's been quite a few years. Thank you, Todd Jones and the Chamber. If you're not a member, you should be. So there's some information right on your table. Sign up. I'd like to kick off the State of the City by honoring those that have invested their careers in serving our city. We have had quite a few retirements from the City of Reading, and we would like to honor and thank all of those retirees from 2023 and 2024. This is the full list, and top of that list is Paul Shargus. He was our solid waste supervisor, and he leads those retirees with 44 years of service. Yeah, we can clap for that. It's quite amazing. You can't shake a stick at 41 years either, but that is something. That means that they not only served there, but they retired from the city. So we're very grateful for their knowledge and their service. What we have here in Reading is unique and abundant. As you saw in the video, the McConnell Foundation, Bethel Church, and Sierra Pacific Industries are unique and generous resources to our community. Simpson College, the Reading Rancheria, Dignity Health, and the Good News Rescue Mission are prolific in their impact to our ecosystem. I chose the theme of United Reading because I believe there is more that unites us than divides us. And above all the political posturing that can happen, what we all want most is a thriving and functioning city that prioritizes its people and provides excellence in all it produces. We have a lot to be proud of in Reading, and this year, we made it into Livability's top 100 best cities to live in. I know, right? So whether we are living in our best livability era, or our GoFundMe's most generous city era, or Milken's best performing city era, what I am most excited about is Reading coming into its United Reading era. And it's the people in this room that are making that happen. So let's get down to business. First things first, let's talk government's top priorities, and that is protecting people, property, and providing infrastructure. and we'll throw a little budget on top. The Reading Police Department is under new leadership with Chief Brian Barner, who started his 31-year career as a teenage explorer at RPD. This year, RPD completed their strategic safety plan, and under Chief Brian Barner, RPD has taken a more proactive approach with numerous special programs that includes the Neighborhood Policing Unit, the K-9 Unit, our Traffic Unit, Park Rangers, School Resource Officers, High-Tech Crime Units, and the Downtown Bike Team. Our bike team now patrols 6 days a week downtown, and since the program began in November of last year, arrests are down 60%. Cases filed, Cases filed are down 37%, and this active presence policing is working and improving the safety of downtown. With recent Supreme Court ruling and changes from the state on camping, RPD is updating its policies for faster removal of individuals. The Neighborhood Police Unit has removed 540,000 pounds of waste from encampments this last year, and our park rangers' presence is helping people young and old enjoy the parks again. This year, Reading Fire has increased its administrative and fire prevention staffing based on recommendations from their Community Wildlife Protection Plan, and Reading Fire is fully staffed at 96 total firefighters, which allows each engine to operate with a minimum of 3 personnel. They have participated in major fires this year, which we owe a debt of gratitude to at the Park Fire, the Hill Fire, Post Fire, and numerous fires in and around Reading. The Reading Air, yes. The Reading Air Attack Base, operated by the U.S. Forest Service, and CAL FIRE received a major upgrade at Reading Regional Airport that allows for 5 tanker planes to be filled simultaneously with fire retardant to assist our crews on the ground battling the numerous fires in the North State. This makes response time and turnaround time on refueling much faster than before. Reading grew in territory much faster than it grew in population. With 60 square miles of infrastructure to maintain, the task of maintenance is an ongoing challenge. The Streets Division worked on rehabilitating and replacing almost 24 miles of roadway in 2023 and completed 120 curb ramps and $64 million worth of public works construction projects. The biggest road project that was completed last year was the Bocelli Lane improvement from South Bonneview to Cypress. And no one can forget, even if you wanted to, about Plaster Street, which is now completed and looks great. Yes, I know. Next year, expect to see new pavement along Victor Avenue from Hartnell to Cypress. Yes, I know. I live over there too. For all the city residents that are in the audience, you all should be aware of the big change to how we throw away food waste that began earlier this year in response to a state mandate. Senate Bill 1383 went into effect January of this year in an effort to reduce organic waste in landfills by 75% by 2025. The Solid Waste Division has kept up with new legislation by making necessary changes to receive food waste through the green waste bin collection on garbage day and the new pyrolysis plant. The pyrolysis plant, which you can see on the screen, is completely new to the city of Reading, and it is located at the Clear Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant. We will be collecting and sending all food waste that is placed into the green waste bin to the plant to be inserted into a treatment digester that will break down the food into biosolids and superheat the material to create the end product of biochar. The biochar can then be added to soil, asphalt, and concrete, locking in the carbon. A byproduct of this process is the production of gas, and our Solid Waste Division will be capturing the gas and selling it to PG&E. When combined with the understanding of supply and demand, those who can supply the capacity and space or necessary processes can charge the price necessary from those who must utilize them. Not having a closed-loop system and relying on outside vendors to provide what is necessary limits the city of Reading. The City of Reading's ability to minimize this upward pressure on our rates and fee structures that impacts our customers and citizens. With this technology, we will be able to temper future rates and fee increases and provide a reasonable return on investment. This implementation has been a major positive step for our Solid Waste Division and a big win for our community. So that means our trash and solid waste is now going to make us some money. And that we should cheer for, guys. Even if our trash is making money. It's a good day for Reading. The Reading Electric Utility upgraded its customer management tool this year to include an expanded and more robust self-service portal. This offers customers improved access to detailed account information, improved payment plans, paperless e-bill options, and proactive customer communication, making it easier for customers to navigate the billing process. And did you know that when compared to PG&E rates, REU residential customers have saved $85 million this year alone? The city's financial and budget picture is stable, but we are keeping a close eye on it, 10 eyes to be exact. Thank you, City Council. Fiscal year 23-24, our sales and property tax and TOT totaled just over $66 million, and we are projected to be at $68 million this fiscal year. As you can see by the month-to-month breakdown of the income of these three sources, our local sales tax is at 7.25. We are one of the last few cities that has not increased its local sales tax. Of the 7.25% that the city receives, it only gets back 1% from the state for its sales tax. It's worth noting that the largest contributors to the sales tax are car dealerships, new housing developments, and large retail stores. Our property tax income comes in 2 increments in January and May, which you can see. The budget still provides for police and fire service levels not seen before the Great Recession, but expect some cuts in the future budget as the financial outlook is degrading statewide. Many people ask about our grant dollars, and the city's total grant revenue received for last fiscal year came in at under $77 million. That is $77 million of the state's priorities coming back into our community. Wouldn't it be great if we got to prioritize that money ourselves? Maybe increasing the sales tax return from the cities from 1% to 2%. Let's hope somebody runs that bill next year. Moving on to my favorite topic, economic development. Development Services completed their 2045 general plan this year. This is a major document that serves as the community's future for land use, development activities, and much more. The city's general plan is built upon the premise that growth and development are necessary, and having an updated zoning document helps attract that new development. The city is working on revising its economic development policy in an effort to attract even more businesses. Development Services team also made a huge upgrade to their website. They now allow customers to receive permits online. There are 14 different permits that can be applied for online, and you don't even need to come into City Hall. Some of these permits include re-roofs, signs, water heaters, vehicle chargers, all permits you may not even know you need, but you do, and even more are coming in the future. In 2023, we added 94 newly built single-family homes to the city, and we are in the process of completing 127 multifamily units, including a new subdivision called Riverstone that will include 21 single-family homes. Economic development is heavily reliant on workforce housing, and on that front, the city's housing division has made numerous notable accomplishments this year. The biggest is that we received $22 million in Community Development Block Grant disaster revenue to create a Northwest Reading subdivision with a minimum of 120 homes on a 113-acre property in the Quartz Hills Road area. This is the first time that funds provided by the Community Development Block Grant are being used to build the infrastructure to create a subdivision. Look forward to a well-planned, fire-resistant neighborhood that will create single-family, for-sale, market rate, and workforce housing units, all to improve the city's housing stock. And of course, the update on Stillwater Business Park is that we have seen some much-needed construction activity as Frito-Lay is in the process and progress of building their new distribution warehouse, giving Venture Parkway a fresh new look. And stay tuned in the coming months for more good news on Stillwater. The Reading Regional Airport is in the final stages of their airport master plan. That should be completed within a couple months. This document will encompass a 20-year outlook on the operations, facility growth of the airport, which makes the airport eligible for much needed funding from the FAA. And if we can get a drum roll, good job, we are happy to announce that we will be adding a United flight from Reading Regional Airport to Denver next year. The Denver flight with its eastbound service opens a much needed and efficient travel aspect that will be great for attracting business and talent to Reading. Speaking of attracting businesses and development, please take some time to check out Shasta Economic Development Corporation's dashboard and data center on their website that allows viewers to view economic data about our community, such as average wages, industry, employment, and much more. This is yet another great tool for businesses and recruiting. The City of Reading supported a new bill that passed the legislature and is waiting on Newsom's signature to incorporate an entertainment zone downtown. This will allow the city to create a boundary for specific events downtown that will allow guests to walk out of restaurants or a bar with an adult beverage into the downtown event. This is a great feature that we're hoping will attract retailers. Economic development would not be complete without a transportation element. We are connecting downtown with a greater community, and even RABA, the active bus service in Reading, has incorporated downtown into its new flexible route. This new route connects downtown Reading to Mount Shasta Mall, Save Mart, the VA Clinic, Veterans Home, and Reading Regional's Airport, Monday through Saturday. RABA received more than $10 million in grant funding to support these operations and capital needs. RABA has started to launch innovations from its recently adopted short-range transit plan, a new service called RABA Runabout that has started, which will replace large buses with small vans for on-demand, door-to-door service in zonal areas, including Sundays and evenings. You can simply request a ride using this app, and a van will come within 20 to 30 minutes, like an Uber or a Lyft. Yeah. And now for a community service update. The City of Reading's Community Service Department received almost $23 million in grants for the future Panorama Park and Resiliency Center, and for the future South City Park. Panorama Park will house a 22,000 square foot community resiliency center that can be activated during emergency events for the community. This will be a great community asset, uniting Reading during potentially unforeseen emergencies. The Resiliency Center will also double as a public gymnasium that will include basketball courts, classroom spaces, and a kitchen. The Aquatic Center received extensive renovations this year, with more work to come to meet the needs of the community in our very hot summer months. Chestina Ranch Park opened in South Reading. This park is surrounded by the abundance of newly built and future homes in Chestina Ranch. We also have a new Whistle Stop Park in the heart of downtown. This park opened in June and will be a hub and central point for downtown events. The library will be getting a $1.6 million upgrade that includes new flooring, a backup generator, security cameras, and more. This funding comes from the California State Library's Building Forward Infrastructure grant program. One of the largest statewide issues that Reading has been battling is homelessness. Millions have been spent to solve this issue, but it only seems to grow bigger. As frustration mounts, the outcry of taxpayers is, where is all this money going and is it working? This year, the unprecedented and highly successful At-Home Committee was formed. The California State Association of Counties created the Accountability, Transparency, Housing Outreach, Mitigation, and Economic Opportunity. That's what At-Home means. We are the only county in California to successfully gather, create, and adopt a state housing funding accountability plan. Elected representatives from Shasta County, Reading, Anderson, and Shasta Lake City councils all gathered and adopted a plan to address gaps in delivery of service and to better direct resources to needed services that can move people from the cycle of homelessness to a cycle of healing. A few needs were immediately identified, and the largest being the diversity of service providers spread across the city. We wanted to create one point of entry for those close to or experiencing homelessness, a day resource center. The timing could not have been better, as the Good News Rescue Mission had also been working towards the purchase of a facility that we identified could serve as this day center. They graciously and enthusiastically agreed to partner with the city and the At-Home Committee. They received a $3 million loan to be used to build a day resource center for unsheltered individuals. This resource center will provide valuable resources such as social service, information, housing navigation, temporary storage, showers, and laundry facilities. In the meantime, the Good News Rescue Mission has already begun this day center at its current mission facility, thanks to new legislation, SB 4, allowing religious-based groups to now use public funds for homelessness. This allowed our housing division to start working with the mission to rehabilitate their existing facility, which will include a much-needed bathroom remodel, roof replacement, and rehabilitating a single-family home to be used for sober living. And lastly, the mission in its 60 years of consistent service to the homeless community is building a 17-unit pallet shelter, which will be completed by the end of the year to further offer options to those individuals reestablishing life indoors. This next project was birthed from an interaction that I had with a second grader from Rother Elementary. I came to read on Dr. Seuss's birthday to her class and was introduced as the mayor pro tem. This sweet young girl came up to me, tapped me, and said, "You're the mayor?" To which I said, "Well, yes." Close. Her innocent amazement that I could possibly be the mayor resonated in me, and I decided to create an opportunity for students in Reading to meet and interact with their mayor. You see, the future of Reading is in our families. It's how we talk to one another. It's how we talk about our community and how we talk about its leaders. We have a unique opportunity to inspire and ignite passion in our youth that are establishing their own identities and growing in their callings. For this reason, I started a new tradition, and that I hope every mayor will continue to connect our youth to positive political experiences. The Mayor Reads to Reading is a program where the mayor reads to Reading's fifth graders about the importance of local government. To date, I've read to over 1,000 students across 26 schools in over 40 classrooms, and every student received a hard copy of a book on our republic. Inside, I wrote, "When you learn what you love, you will love to learn." My hope is to be able to inspire these young students to see public service in a new way, igniting our future cultural, civil architects that will love, steward, and inspire our community for generations. So what is next for Reading? You can clap for that, thanks. Thanks, guys. So what's next for Reading? As you heard, this is the year of plans. The general plan, the airport plan, economic development plan, the Reading policing plan, the Robba transit plan, and the most exciting plan, the Riverfront Specific Plan. Will this be the year that the river is revived? I believe it will be. The Sacramento River runs straight through our city, and for all of us here, we have dreamed of what more could be there. This last year, the city started the planning process to update their land use plan. The plan's intention is to reintroduce the community to the river by creating a long-term vision of its 380 acres of public and private land. The planning area includes the Civic Center property all the way down to the Cypress Bridge along Park Marina Drive. This updated plan will be the primary planning and regulatory document for the riverfront area. It will provide a clear vision for the riverfront's future. This process should be completed by June of next year, and it is very exciting to see how we can transform the area and gather our community to the landmark that makes Reading, Reading. Since we are talking about the river, I also want to mention the milestone for our Sundial Bridge. It turned 20 this summer. The Sundial Bridge has become an icon of Reading and a gathering place for our community and for visitors that come to Reading from all over the world. Here are some major building projects that you can expect to see breaking ground soon in Reading. Just this morning, Dignity Health broke ground on their state-of-the-art $70 million Sierra Pacific Regional Cancer Center on the scenic Sacramento River property at Hartnell and Cypress Avenue. The Public Market Center downtown will include outdoor dining and food service. Bethel Church will be breaking ground on their new sanctuary build. The Good News Rescue Mission will be building its Day Resource Center, and Simpson University's new Business, Engineering, and Technology Center. In conclusion, the City of Reading has made great improvements this last year, and we will continue to be better and continue to better the community and its amenities. Thank you to all the city staff that have been instrumental and proactive in making Reading better for all. I am very proud of what has been accomplished. And I want to say a special thank you to all the groups who participated in our video. You really are building and investing for generations to come. As Henry Ford said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Let's strive to work together to keep Reading united. Thank you for being here. Be kind to each other and make good choices. Thank you. Do we say it?
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for coming. My number one goal was to make sure you're out on time, and I'm going to give you a little bit of your day back. So thank you guys so much for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Fake friends, I wouldn't even know what love is if we never met. What if I never started singing? What if you never told your family you were leaving when you felt the pressure? There's a million different reasons we shouldn't be together.